Okay, let's first come to the top breaking story at the moment. All eyes have been on the India meet, which concluded in Mumbai today. And remember, there has been, as always, a bit of a controversy. This time, over West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee skipping the press meet, the post-huddle press meet that had been called by the India Alliance. And sources are telling India today that Mamata Banerjee wants the Congress to first clear its stand on Bengal alliances, especially its position vis-a-vis the left. Mamata is very clear that the left, she can have no understanding with the left. She is willing to reach out to the Congress, but not to the left, which is also part of the India Alliance. Sources also telling us that Mamata Banerjee favors a smaller core group of chief ministers, which she says can take quick decisions that she believes are of complete importance because she fears BJP wants an early election. And Mamata says very clearly, no question of leaving Team India. So Mamata Banerjee taking some mind space, and that's been the breaking story. Sources close to Mamata saying she will stay within Team India even though she missed the press meet. Now let's look at the bigger picture, because what happened over the last 48 hours suggests, to use these words, opposition zinda hai. Not tiger zinda hai, but opposition zinda hai. A 26-party opposition meeting was held here at the Grand Hyatt in Mumbai. Several issues were discussed, some contentious. At the end of the day, a 14-member coordination panel that includes heavyweights like Sharad Pawar and M.K. Stalin has been formed, and the opposition has decided to launch a series of public meetings across India, possibly starting on Gandhi Jayanti, October 2nd. The big question, of course, is this all enough to take on the Narendra Modi juggernaut? Does the opposition have a message that can actually win over the voters? That's what we're going to focus on in a moment. Pawan Khera, the Congress's chief spokesperson, will join me live first. But first, take a look at all that happened on this day 2 of the India Alliance meet.
A few group photos clicked, a resolution passed, 5 committees and working groups formed, but no agreement on a logo or convener. That, in a nutshell, was the result of the Opposition Alliance India's 2-day huddle in Mumbai. The Opposition Unity project is moving ahead, but at its own pace. The 28 parties hosted by Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena UBT on Friday resolved to contest the Lok Sabha elections together as far as possible. Seat-sharing arrangement in states will be initiated immediately and concluded at the earliest. Opposition parties will organize public rallies in different parts of the country on issues of public concern. The India Alliance formed 2 committees for coordination and election strategy and campaign, and 3 working groups for social media, media and research. The opposition leaders trained guns on the Narendra Modi government over the latest charges of stock manipulation against Adani Group.
The nexus between the Prime Minister and a particular businessman is there for every single person to see. I mentioned yesterday in my press conference that the G20 is taking place, and it is very important for India's credibility, our nation's credibility, that the Prime Minister makes his position very clear and begins an inquiry.
The Modi government's decision to call a special session of Parliament figured prominently.
आज मोदी सडनली और एक बात की कि बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी को नहीं पूछे, अपोजिशन लीडर को भी नहीं बुलाए, किसी को बुलाए बगैर वो पार्लियामेंट का डेट देकर स्पेशल सेशन बुला रहे हैं। अरे स्पेशल सेशन मणिपुर जल रहा था तो आपने नहीं बुलाया, कोविड के वक्त नहीं बुलाया, जब आप चाइना अपनी जमीन हड़प कर ले रही है, कब्जा कर ली है, उसके लिए नहीं बुलाया। ये देश चलाने की रीत नहीं है, ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता डिक्टेटरशिप की तरफ जा रहे हैं।
चुनाव समय के पहले भी हो सकता है, कोई ठीक नहीं है, इसलिए हम लोगों को भी तो अलर्ट रहना न पड़ेगा।
The BJP has dismissed the threat posed by a unified opposition.
Their only recurrent theme is abuse Shri Narendra Modi ji as much as possible. There was no vision for the development of India.
The India parties can pat their back over the formation of a coordination committee and resolutions passed on seat sharing and campaigns. But for a coalition riddled with contradictions, the biggest challenge will be to sort out the differences to take on the mammoth election machinery of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And time is running out. With video journalist Satya Rotre and Sahil Joshi, this is Mosmi Singh in Mumbai for India Today.
And joining me now is Pawan Khera, the chief spokesperson of the Congress. It's head of the media cell and someone who's been tracking every move, been very much part of this India alliance. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Khera. Let's answer that big question straight away. Opposition zinda hai? Ya opposition still in some way is battling to take on the Modi juggernaut? Is the opposition alive or is it alive and kicking, Mr. Khera?
Well, the opposition was never dead. Sometimes one feels that the media and journalism died, but well, I hope media is also not dead. So believe me, both journalism and opposition and therefore democracy are alive in India.
You know, the reason I'm asking you this, Mr. Khera, is that there was a lot of skepticism about this India alliance because of the serious differences that exist on the ground. For example, you know Delhi better than most, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. There are serious differences on the ground. In Bengal, we've already seen an eruption of that because Mamata Banerjee seems upset with the manner in which the left is taking her on in the state and wants the Congress to clear its stand. Do you believe that what we've seen in the last 24 hours, the formation of this coordination committee, formation of various election strategy committees, other committees down the line, suggests that you've got your act together, or are you still work in progress?
Look, of course, processes are on, and I can't with absolute authority say that no, we've arrived, we've done everything and nothing else needs to be done. That would be an exaggeration. So it's not conformity. India is a land of contradictions, and politics is the art of managing all those contradictions. After all, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji managed so many contradictions. Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao managed so many contradictions. Dr. Manmohan Singh managed all those contradictions. It's only Mr. Narendra Modi who wants to see India and India's politics and democracy from one lens. One PM, one lens, one industrialist. You know, everything has to be one. He wants conformity. No, that's not how India is. That's not how India's politics can ever be, and it should not ever be.
You know, the reason I'm asking you this, it seems that your alliance is still obsessed with Modi. The BJP says you have a sole agenda, Modi Hatao. What's your message beyond Modi Hatao? At the end of the day, you're going to have to give your own positive message to the people of India. Why should they just,
Rajdeep,
you know, is it only about Modi Hatao?
Rajdeep, what does Mr. Narendra Modi signify or stand for or symbolize? He symbolizes all that is going wrong for the last 9 years in this country, be it border security, be it unemployment, be it price rise, be it the collapse of the MSME sector, be it Mahila Suraksha. You name it and there is Mr. Narendra Modi, because I'm sorry, he's running a one-man government. So if it's a one-man government, you want us to hold poor JP Nadda responsible for anything? I mean, poor Nadda ji doesn't know what's happening in his own party's government. So obviously it is Mr. Modi. Now, if Mr. Modi wants to feel all important that, oh, the opposition is only talking about me, but my dear friend, Mr. Modi is always only talking about himself. So obviously we are taking him on.
You know, the fact is, Mr. Khera, when you go to an electorate, you have to also offer them a positive message. I have still not got the message clear of the India alliance. When I heard the speeches, most of them say Mr. Modi is a dictator. The word, you know, India is moving towards a dictatorship. That seems to be almost reminiscent of how the Janata Party took on Indira Gandhi after the emergency. Are you saying that what we are seeing today is reminiscent of that 1975 to 77 moment in Indian politics, which has brought all these divergent parties together? Or is it an existential crisis? These parties fear for their future, hence they are coming together.
Rajdeep, for the last 9 years, here is the man who has now 303 seats in parliament. Yet, he will only talk about Nehruji has done this thing wrong, Gandhi went wrong here, Indira Gandhi went wrong there, Narasimha Rao went wrong somewhere else, Dr. Manmohan Singh of course went wrong So the man is obsessed with the Congress party despite being in power for the last 9 years, and you are asking us why are we attacking Narendra Modi? Obviously he is the Prime Minister, we will attack him. Now 50% of politics is attacking the man in power, the incumbent government, and the other 50% at the right time will be unveiled, which is our positive agenda. That's how political campaigns are across all democracies.
You know, but one of the challenges will be seat sharing. Your resolution today says seat sharing will start immediately. Let's again look at Delhi. 7 seats on offer. The Aam Aadmi Party believes it is party number 1 of Delhi, it's in power. The Congress believes that the Aam Aadmi Party has worked against the Congress interests in Delhi. You have a similar vote bank. How do you work on this? Do you believe that's the last stage? The nitty-gritty of seat sharing, will it happen? Do you really believe that Arvind Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi will be able to do joint rallies as is being spoken of? Is that actually going to happen according to you?
Well, you have seen such nitty-gritties being worked upon even in the past. You've seen the VP Singh government, you've seen the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, you were a reporter then, you've seen Dr. Manmohan Singh's government. A lot of such contradictions and wrinkles were ironed out, and ironed out rather well. And we ran, I think Dr. Manmohan Singh gave one of the best governments for two terms. So
Mr. Modi says, I'm offering stability, I'm offering muscular leadership. This alliance is chaotic. He's going to make that point. He says, Parivarvad, this alliance is about Parivarvad, saving a particular Parivar is what he claims, and it's about Bhrashtachar, and it's about Tushtikaran or appeasement. He says that these are the 3-pronged attack against you.
So, tell me, is Mr. Narendra Modi declaring today that there will be no Parivarvad party in NDA, there will be no leader in the BJP whose son or daughter or nephew or niece would be given a ticket or a portfolio or a designation or any position in the government or the party? What is he trying to do and say? What, Ajit Pawar is not a Parivarvadi? Why has he joined hands with Ajit Pawar? Jyotiraditya Scindia is not a Parivarvadi just because he's joined the BJP now? What about Dushyant Singh, Vasundhara ji's son? What about Rajnath Singh ji's son? I'm not even talking about the NDA partners right now. I'm only talking about the BJP Parivar.
No, BJP says your party is one of inheritors. You see, that's the difference he's making.
So
he's making difference between dynasts and dynasties. My point is,
Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge gets elected as the president of our party, we are very proud of it. Where is the Parivarvad there? Since 1989, which Gandhi has been the prime minister of this country? What Parivarvad is he talking about? He better brush up his history of his own party and of our party and of this country first.
In the big picture, as a final question, Pawan Kheda, what is therefore the 2024 battle going to be about? The BJP is very clear. They believe they have one leader who is their strong man, who will provide stable governance, who will take India, they say, into an Amrit Kal in 2047. What is your counter to that entire narrative of Amrit Kal, of Mr. Modi as providing stable, strong leadership?
Rajdeep, this country, the country's institutions, the country's youth, the country's underprivileged sections, the country's middle class needs healing. Now, what kind of stability and what do we do with that stability or with that so-called Amrit Kal, which is only there for one nation, one industrialist, one nation, one party, one nation, one language, one nation, one dressing style, one nation, one food habit? What are we talking about?
You're saying one nation, one industrialist. So you're saying that what Rahul Gandhi has said about Gautam Adani will be taken up by all the other parties? Will they be as vociferous as Rahul Gandhi has been?
It is the country's concern that all its resources are being given away to one industrialist. Obviously, it is a concern everybody shares. It's a concern
within your
which an
Team
unemployed
India,
youth also of the country shares.
All your Team India parties will make these issues.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Pawan Khera, therefore, what you're telling me is you believe a major step forward has been taken by your alliance today, crafting it. I believe that there will be a big public meeting on October 2nd to kick off the campaign. We'll see how much of these points that you're making are raised by your leaders. But clearly, as I said, opposition zinda hai, it appears.
Rajdeep,
yes.
One nation, one mistake, and that mistake will be undone by India Alliance. And that mistake is Narendra Modi.
Okay. Modi Hatao is clearly how the opposition is seeing 2024. Now, let's therefore raise the big questions. Can Team India, or India Alliance as it's called, give Mr. Modi's poll machinery a tough fight? Is there no big breakthrough in the India huddle? Is India Alliance moving at a slow pace? Has the special session called by Prime Minister Modi spooked India Alliance? Joining me now, our special guest, Priyanka Chaturvedi, Shiv Sena UBT, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray MP. She was also part of these deliberations. Reena Gupta is Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. RP Singh, BJP spokesperson. And my colleague Sahil Joshi, our Mumbai Bureau Chief, is joining me here in a moment. Let's go straight across to each of you to understand what is the big picture. Priyanka Chaturvedi, what is the big picture that we are to take away from this India Alliance meeting? Pawan Khera is saying Modi Hatao. Is that the single point agenda now that has been, after all these 2 days of deliberation, is it coming back to Modi Hatao?
No, firstly, what is wrong if we speak about Modi Hatao? Hasn't the Bharatiya Janata Party from 2014 onwards made it only about Mr. Narendra Modi? Every second minister is sidelined, every cabinet minister is irrelevant, every BJP MP who has won his elected constituency is considered irrelevant. Every time a cabinet minister speaks on the floor of the house, he has to chant the name of Narendra Modi 108 times. Out of the 37 alliance partners, no one has the audacity to be able to dream that their leader could perhaps be the Prime Minister one day. So they've reduced it to him. So what is wrong if we say the idea that Mr. Modi brings to the table since 2014 is an idea which is anti-India, which is anti-women, which is anti-farmers, which is India's interests. Right from China changing its map from La 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 to helping the Lal Lal Sarkar of China, Modi ji has done it all. So if we are meeting, and if you're meeting against this entire idea that is proposed of a dictatorial regime run by one person as per his whims and fancies, who thinks he's above the nation because he refuses to come and hold himself accountable in the parliament, who thinks he's above Ganpati Bappa also, that he's holding this particular session which nobody has an agenda to, then we are going to have a policy which attacks this idea. The idea is Modi. Modi is the idea for the BJP right now.
So you're saying you're attacking the idea.
So we are
okay, interesting. You're saying you're attacking the idea. You're attacking the idea of Modi, not Mr. Modi, the individual. RP Singh, you want to respond to that? That according to the India Alliance partners, when they say Modi Hatao, they're not attacking Modi, the individual, but the idea of Modi. They say Mr. Modi is taking India towards a dictatorship. One India, one leader, one decision maker, in a country which they say is a country of diversity. India Alliance claims it represents diversity. Judega Bharat, to jeetega Bharat is their slogan.
Well, they have accepted that the complete focus of the opposition is against Modi ji. I mean, they are accepting it, and they have no agenda to present to the people. And why they are against Modi ji? Because Modi ji has given 55 crore people 5 lakh health insurance. More than 11 crore women Ujjwala scheme, gas scheme, under which the cylinders are subsidized cylinders are being given. More than 3.5 crore people have been given a roof on the head. More than 11 crore Kisan, the farmers get Kisan Samman Nidhi. More than 200 crore people got them vaccinated. So that's the problem, and they have to fight this agenda, and they don't have any positive agenda. And then Priyanka ji was saying that, oh, we have leaders, we have a lot of leaders as, in the party, in the alliance. I'm sorry, you say India Alliance, it's not India Alliance, it's India Alliance, because last word is alliance itself. So in future, let's keep it as India Alliance, not India Alliance. So, but coming to the issue, I'm just stating the fact, but coming to the issue, as per them, Nitish Kumar will be the Prime Minister for Monday. They are presenting so. That Nitish will be our Prime Minister for Monday, Mamta ji for Tuesday, Akhilesh for Wednesday, Arvind Kejriwal for Thursday, Rahul Gandhi for Friday, Uddhav Thackeray ji for Saturday, and Sharad Pawar ji doesn't keep good health, so he can be kept for Sunday. But are they together? I mean, are this club together? Yesterday he had a press conference. Today he again. Can I give me another second? Another 5 seconds. Another 5 seconds.
But RP saying
5 seconds.
RP saying no one. They have not projected a face. You are claiming they are projecting a face. They have not projected anyone.
Each of their party leaders have projected. The Mamata Banerjee leaders are saying Mamata ji is the best. Priyanka ji said Uddhav ji is the best. Priyanka Kakkad said Arvind ji is the best. It's not us who are saying. But coming to the issue, you're saying they are going to hold public meetings, public rallies. Oh yes, Mr. Kejriwal was holding a public meeting and public rally in Chhattisgarh, Raipur, other day, saying he is the most corrupt chief minister. Not us. Mr. Kejriwal was saying so in Raipur. Mr. Bajwa was holding a dharna against Mr. Bhagwant Mann. Kerala Congress chief has been arrested by the Mr. Pinay Vijayan's party. Mamata Banerjee walked out. You know the reason behind why did she walked out today? You just told before at the beginning of the show. But this is the contradictions there, and then you say they are the diversities. This is not diversities. This is contradiction.
Okay, that's an interesting point you're making. Let them respond to that. You know, Reena Gupta and Priyanka, I'll get them to respond. Reena Gupta of the AAP first. The fact is, Arvind Kejriwal was there at this meeting today saying we must work together. The same Arvind Kejriwal was in Raipur over the weekend attacking Bhupesh Baghel, the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, saying there's corruption there. We've seen similar cases mentioned by Mr. RP Singh about the Congress and AAP in Punjab. You see, the impression is that yes, you are coming together in the 5-star hotel of Grand Hyatt, but what about on the ground? How will you translate this bonhomie in a hotel into reality on the ground?
Rajdeep, it is clear how rattled they are, including Mr. RP Singh. After the 2 meetings of the alliance, they had to reduce the LPG cylinder prices by 200. Now, after the 3rd meeting, they are announcing a special session of the parliament. If Mr. Modi, who calls himself the Pradhan Sevak, he is really a Pradhan Sevak, he should have called a special session on Manipur. He should have called a special session on China taking over our land. He should have called a special session on Adani. But none of that. We don't know what the special session is about.
China has taken over?
Let us also not forget.
Falsehood.
Can I complete this? मुझे पता है आप बहुत परेशान हैं, मुझे बोलने दीजिए लेकिन
झूठ मत बोलिए, झूठ मत बोलिए. China ने land take over कर ली. Not an inch of Indian.
Okay, go ahead, finish up.
See, Rajdeep, let us not forget that Bharatiya Janata Party only got 37% of the votes last time. And the India Alliance got 63%. And last time we were not contesting together. This time we are together. We represent a very cohesive force. We represent 11 very, very capable chief ministers. Besides Mr. Narendra Modi, is there one other leader that RP Singh can talk about? Whether it's a inauguration of a gali sadak, mohalla sadak, train, platform, for every inauguration Mr. Modi goes there. Is there any other minister who can claim that they have done anything in this government? For everything is Mr. Modi. And right now the country is going through the highest unemployment, high inflation.
Reena Gupta, are you
Prime Minister
certain?
Only working for his best friend Adani.
Miss Reena Gupta, you don't... Miss Reena Gupta, I asked you a simple question. Mr. Kejriwal says one thing in Chhattisgarh against the Congress. Here they say they are fighting together. What's the message you are going? Each of your partners admit that you all are all fighting for political space. Why don't you accept that?
Rajiv, we are very clear. This alliance is at the central level. Our Karyakartas, our leaders, all of us are very clear. And Mr. RP Singh, it's ironic he's saying this because Prime Minister was saying in Bhopal, chakki piecing, most corrupt party. And after that, 48 hours after that, he makes Ajit Pawar the Deputy Chief Minister. So Mr. RP Singh, पहले अपने गिरेबान में झांक के देखिए, आपके फ्लॉर के बारे में कुछ बोलने से पहले.
Okay, bring both their volumes down because I'm now going... Priyanka Chaturvedi wanted to make a point. Priyanka Chaturvedi, go ahead, make the point that you wanted to make. I believe you are raising your hand.
So, 2 things I'd like to say. I was listening to Mr. RPN Singh very carefully. He said Sunday ko ye Prime Minister, Monday ko ye Prime Minister, Tuesday ko ye Prime Minister. अरे भाई साहब, हमारे पास चॉइसेस तो हैं. मैं आपसे पूछती हूँ आरपीएन सिंह जी, Nitin Gadkari ji is doing a fabulous job as a minister. Can you on this channel say that if not Mr. Modi, we want Mr. Nitin Gadkari? Can you say it? You won't be able to say it. You're talking about our differences. Aam Aadmi Party versus Congress versus X versus Y. I ask you, your own BJP MLAs from Manipur are saying that they cannot work under Mr. N. Biren Singh. They have been asking for a time with the Prime Minister of India, who's not giving them time. Forget that. Arjun Ram Meghwal, a cabinet minister, he is being accused of corruption by your own MLA in Rajasthan. Forget fighting other parties. Your own parties are fighting your own party is fighting within itself. Can you name one Prime Ministerial candidate
you're saying you have a
besides
multi-starrer.
Narendra Modi?
No,
One
Priyanka
second,
Chaturvedi,
please
you're
allow
saying
me.
you have many
Mr.
leaders.
Sir,
are you very clear?
Yeah.
Are you very clear? You will not project
okay,
a face.
so I'll
Are
tell
we
you,
very clear after today's meeting that that your alliance will not project a single face?
I will tell you. No, allow me to complete, Rajdeep. Before RPN Singh comes in, you were stepping in. I'll just say one thing. We are a rainbow coalition as per you, right? With 28 parties. They are a 38-party alliance. We have the audacity of hope that our ministers, our leaders are capable. Reena can feel that her chief minister is capable. I can feel my leader is capable. Can they have the audacity of hope, the 37-party alliance that they have? Can anyone come out and say in the open that yes, my leader aspires to be the Prime Minister of this country and lead the nation, and he can lead the nation? That is a sad reality of the Bharatiya Janata Party and its allies right now. They're desperate to stay in power. They're reduced to just a one-man party, and that is what I say. This is a dictatorial, totalitarian idea of India, which exactly what we are opposed to. There has to be many options of a Prime Minister. I remember at a point in time, you all used to say that there should be many leaders who are competing for the post. Today we have many leaders who are capable, but we will choose a leader once our MPs are elected and once we have a majority. Unfortunately for them, they cannot even aspire for it. And that's the sad truth of where we stand today as far as
So you're making it very clear that any leader will be, you're making it very clear on the show, any leader of this India alliance will be chosen post-election. Sahil Joshi, my colleague, is listening. Sahil, you've been tracking this very intently for the last 2 days. What is your, I'll come back to you, sir. What is your biggest takeaway, Sahil, from what you've seen? Do you believe this alliance is actually working cohesively, or do they still have a lot of challenges that lie ahead of them in actually working out seat sharing? Can the Mahavikas Aghadi model of Maharashtra actually be taken nationwide according to you?
Well, the Mahavikas Aghadi model actually showed the way for India Alliance, and in India Alliance we have seen that many of the partners, including TMC, they first tried on their own. They tried to, replace Congress in some of the states. They couldn't do it, and finally they realized the reality of the opposition parties, and the message which they are trying to show, come out of this particular meeting is that one nation, one opposition. That is kind of a message which they are trying to give. Earlier, just 1 year back, when the Congress tried to do that, it couldn't happen. There were various contenders for being a main opposition party, but now the message which they are trying to give is one nation, one opposition. Number two, as you rightly pointed out, that there are certain things which are yet to be finalized. The first line of the political resolution passed today in the meeting says that as far as possible, they will try and fight together against the BJP. That as far as possible clearly shows that there are certain things which are yet to be decided, specifically with respect to Punjab, maybe Bengal. Fairly in Maharashtra, the Mahavikas Aghadi is now fairly placed because they have been together since 2019, despite various breakaway groups within the alliance. Despite that, they have stuck together. They have this Bohemi, and they will eventually move forward. There will be friction whenever it comes to seat sharing. There will be a friction because there is no particular.
But you see this alliance lasting and fighting the election together.
It's very clear because Sharad Pawar himself is now part of the coordination committee, which sends a very clear message in Maharashtra where Sharad Pawar is going to stand despite whatever has happened. So, that message has gone very clear. But this particular line gives a tentativeness to the whole idea of having one-on-one fight with the BJP alliance or with the BJP.
So one-on-one fights in possibly 300, 350 seats is what they are aiming for. RP Singh, does that rattle you? What if this alliance comes up with 350 one-on-one fights across India? कोई डर है कि नहीं?
राजीव, कल तक 450 से थी, कल तक 450 थे, आज 350 हो गए. चलिए देखते हैं आगे आगे होगा क्या. परंतु let me tell you one more thing. Today I heard Rahul Gandhi talking about some businessman. He never took a name today. Yesterday he held a press conference. I give a challenge to Rahul Gandhi to hold a press conference with Mamata Banerjee, Baghel, Gehlot and Sharad Pawar ji put together talking about that businessman. He can't afford to do that because his party, his colleagues, his so-called Indie alliance are not with him on the subject. So, I mean, they have no agenda, they have no collective leadership. And also, they couldn't pick up one coordinator. I mean,
no, but your leader, RP Singh, 1 minute. RP Singh, since, 1 minute, RP Singh, bhai, since you mentioned that businessman, let me mention the name. Rahul Gandhi had a press conference where I'm sitting yesterday, where he mentioned Gautam Adani.
Sir,
why doesn't the Prime Minister break his silence on Mr. Adani?
Okay, I give you a challenge,
why doesn't the Prime Minister, sir, you're not answering my question. Why doesn't the Prime Minister break his silence on Adani?
Sharad Pawar, Mamata Banerjee, Baghel and Ashok Gehlot sit together and take the name of the businessman. He took the name of that businessman in the meeting.
Why doesn't the Prime Minister, sir, you're not listening to my question. Why doesn't the Prime Minister break his silence on Gautam Adani?
Why does he need to? Why is the Prime Minister silent? Because there is some news item and some newspaper outside that to be fed by Soros. Why shall we do it?
In some of the most prominent newspapers in the world.
But we know who is feeding it. We know who is feeding it. Who is feeding it? Tomorrow some newspaper who's filing a report about you. So we start challenging you. No,
these are top newspapers in the world.
I accept my challenge. I repeat my challenge.
Okay, Reena, you want to respond?
Rahul Gandhi can't afford it.
Okay, Reena Gupta, final word. Are you all on one or all these issues? For example, cronyism?
My name is RP Singh. I'm not RPN Singh. I'm sorry. You have been saying RPN Singh. My name is RP Singh.
Okay, quickly, final word, Reena Gupta.
We are very clear, as an alliance, yes, there will be issues, but the desire to work for the country, the desire to work not for one Mr. Adani, the desire to work for 140 crore Indians is so strong that in the coming days we will iron out all the differences. There will be a proper seat sharing agreement. There will be a proper campaign strategy. And you see, India is going to win, Rajdeep. India is going to win. And these crony capitalists are going to lose because the country has had enough of them now.
Save Mr. Tejasvi Yadav, to save Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Bring the volume down again. I believe Priyanka Gandhi, not Priyanka Gandhi, Priyanka Chaturvedi has something in her mobile. What is it in the mobile that you are trying to show us, Priyanka? Your audio is on mute, ma'am. Your audio is on mute. Priyanka, you wanted to show something on your mobile?
Yeah, I wanted to show you something.
Okay, we are having an... Okay. I think we've reached the end of this alliance. I think our message is very clear that's come from Mumbai. The opposition seems determined to fight unitedly. Now, that unity, whether it stays till April, May next year, will be tested. But the good news for Indian democracy is that we may not necessarily be a one-party democracy. Everyone is contending in a way for political space. And the good news, therefore, is that we could actually have a contest in 2024. Thank you all to our panelists for joining us. All of this, of course, coming against the backdrop of a special session of Parliament that has been called. There was speculation that the government would go in for one nation, one election as a legislation. What is now clear is that the government is only using that as a trial balloon, a talking point, by setting up a committee headed by former President Ramnath Kovind. Take a look at the other story.
एक बार 5 साल में एक बार चुनाव आए, महीना 2 महीना चुनाव का उत्सव चले, फिर सब काम में लगे। ये बात सबने बताई। क्या ये समय की मांग नहीं है कि हमारे देश में कम से कम मतदाता सूची तो एक हो?
one nation, one poll, or simultaneous synchronized elections to parliament and state assemblies is an idea that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has publicly advocated several times in the past. The Narendra Modi government has now set up a committee to study the proposal and submit its report. The panel will be headed by former President of India, Ramnath Kovind. The committee will have a former Chief Justice of India, a former Cabinet Secretary, and a former Chief Election Commissioner as its members. BJP President JP Nadda on Friday met former President Ramnath Kovind. Soon after, the former president was tasked with the responsibility of heading the committee on simultaneous elections. The announcement caught the opposition completely by surprise. Vehemently opposing the proposal, the opposition India Alliance called One Nation, One Poll unconstitutional and against the basic principles of democracy.
How come all these distractions come only whenever PM Modi's friends are in trouble? Have they spoken to Election Commission at length? Have they seen the pros and cons? If they have, where is it? Shouldn't they put it up for public debate, or shouldn't they call up shouldn't they call all the political parties, regional and national parties, for a discussion on the pros and cons of it? It requires constitutional amendments.
क्या important और core issue 2014 से नहीं था? 2023 में याद आ गया जब सत्ता हाथ से जा रही है। 3 कमेटी रिपोर्ट्स बहुत स्पष्ट तरीके से कहती हैं कि 5 अमेंडमेंट्स करने पड़ेंगे। स्टेट असेंबलीज में ये आधे से ज्यादा मेजॉरिटी होगी तब ये पारित होंगे। तो दुनिया को और देश को बेवकूफ बनाना बंद करें। देश के एजेंडा पे, इंडिया के एजेंडा पे चर्चा करें।
The BJP responded positively to the concept of simultaneous elections, saying that it is the need of the hour.
भारत में एक सरकार लोकसभा में मीन सेंट्रल में चुन के आते हैं, उसके बाद सारे 5 वर्ष कहीं न कहीं चुनाव चलता रहता है। इसीलिए डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस में भी कई प्रॉब्लम होता है। इसलिए ये तो एक विचार है, एक विमर्शा तो होना चाहिए।
बार बार इलेक्शन विकास के कार्यों में बाधा पैदा करती है कि लोकसभा, विधानसभा और अन्य सभी प्रकार के इलेक्शन को एक साथ हम आयोजित करें। एक बेहतरीन पहल हुई है।
The biggest challenge in the way of one nation, one election is to synchronize the terms of various state legislative assemblies and the Lok Sabha. Simultaneous elections are not a new concept, having taken place 4 times in 1952, 1957, 1962 and 1967 elections in India. Bureau Report, India Today.